I want you to just imagine there is no heaven. It isn't easy if you try. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I am a dreamer, but I am not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will be a better one. Those are the words written by John Lennon. It's about a state of mind. Unfortunately, all of us are schooled into a belief system. And what he visualized may not be possible for most of us. We live in a world in which we are schooled to appreciate opposites, good and bad, success and failure. But I think that if we understand really the first principle that we teach, that wherever we are, this power, this presence that we call good God is everywhere. Its nature is absolute good. We live, we move, and we have our being in this state of goodness. Imagine if when we were little children, we were schooled to believe that. There would be no opposition, no competition. There would be no judgment. Hence, there would be peace. Peace comes when there is no conflict. A mind that is ruled by two principalities is a mind that is constantly producing conflict. A mind that accepts one foundation is a mind that can have peace. A mind that says that wherever I am, everything that is there is equal to me. Therefore, there is no need to jostle for position, because wherever I am in the right place. Moses, in presenting the law to the Israelites in the wilderness, says to them, "You shall have no other God before me." In other words, there should only be one idea operating in your mind. And the state of that idea must be one. We cannot dwell in a house divided. If our minds are divided, well, then our life will be divided. Establishing a one principle on which to live is the key to success. You can't serve two masters at the same time. You can't want success and still accept there's failure. The two of them cannot reside together. We cannot have bright and dark. We cannot have up and down. It has to be what it is. No division. The world we live in is a world divided. Over the weekend, we've had a lot of bombings and destructive acts that establish that we have been schooled to believe that everything that does not walk like us, talk like us, speak like us is different, and therefore has to be evil. And we struggled through war to make it right. War is not the answer. Establishing a mind that says, wherever I am, everything that is there is vibrating at the same mental and spiritual level as I am, and therefore it's okay. You cannot have two ideas vying for the same energy at the same time. Just like you can't have two things occupying the same space at the same time. If your mind is mixed up, you will be mixed up. And all your experiences will be mixed up. Who is the master of your estate? Your consciousness, your mind, is your estate. You live and move and have your existence first in your mind. Whatever is in your mind is duplicated on the outside based on the experiences that you have. So when the experiences come, we cannot change the experience, but we can change our minds and experience something new. Success is actually the accomplishment of a task set out to be done. When the task is finished, you have succeeded. When you have succeeded, the results are yours. Good, bad, or indifferent. Some of us don't realize that our thoughts are the first cause, and whatever we have in our lives are the effects of our thinking. And therefore we like to blame others for things going on in our lives and not realize every thought is an interpretation of an idea that we have done. We interpret the outsides based on the way we have formatted our minds to think. As a man thinks, so are his experiences. When we look at our lives, we are actually succeeding in building the lives that we want. A lot of people don't realize that your life, as you know it, has been planned and directed by you, and you have succeeded so well because it's good for you. We wish that others could change it for us, but as you continue to think about it, you continue to have more of it, because whatever you focus on, you have more of. Who is the master of your consciousness. Many of us, as we walk through our lives, allow the actions of others to determine what we will do next. We are reactionaries. We are not ever proactive in our lives. So therefore, we blame. I could have achieved this if my parents, my teachers, my neighbors, my community, and we blame, not realizing the right to live is always with me, and how I live is based on the way I think, and out of my thinking comes my belief. If you believe you have failed, you have failed. If you believe that the experience that you have drawn to yourself is to teach you, then you have succeeded. And if even you have failed, you have succeeded. The way you look at yourself is so important. Who do you think you are? If we were schooled to believe that we were spiritual beings capable of achieving whatever we wanted, and spiritual means we are mental thinkers, because when we think, we roam the invisible and shape and form things in the invisible. And then once we put our mind to it, we can bring about what we have thought about. If we were taught that we were spiritual beings, and the same spirit that was in the Creator in the beginning is the same spirit in us, because it is said that the Creator breathed in us itself, and we became living beings. So if the Creator could create, then we have the power to create. Can you imagine if we would thought that? What our lives would look like? And instead of struggling to produce, production would become easy because you would know that it is your right to produce. Many of us have been taught we will never achieve anything. So we try to prove we could achieve, and we do not enjoy the process of achieving because we are not doing it for us. We are doing it to catch the eyes of others who may have condemned us. What you believe about yourself is the platform on which success is based. Do you believe that you have the right to succeed? Not for anybody else, but for yourself. What you think about, you bring about. We begin the day sometimes with a purpose. Want to achieve something. And then in the course of a day, the mind is drifting all over the place because other people have said, and we have engaged the thoughts and actions of other people. And the purpose that we had thrown aside. The key to success is to focus your attention on an intent. Thou shalt have no other idea but me, or before me. When we focus our attention, we also focus our energy on a single point. That means 100% of our energy or spiritual forces are focused on a pinpoint. If everything we own are placed on a single pinpoint, then all power will be on that pinpoint. But what we do is we scatter our energies all over the place. I think I want this. I think I should have that. I think I'm going after this. I think I'd like to become that. Focus. Focus. If one drop of water comes and drops in one place all the time, you will create a crevice because all the energy is focused in one point. If we take that single drop of water and just spread it all over the place, you wouldn't even know that that water ever passed there. Whatever you focus on builds and grows, expands, and shows results. If there are no results, it means there has been no focus. I love a poem I learned since I was a little boy, and when I do lessons like this poem always comes in my mind. It wasn't there before, but it just came. The heights of great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were upward toiling through the night. That's focus. That's focus. All achievement is possible. You can be anything and succeed at anything if you give all your attention to it. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, always having half-empty cups and never full ones. You know, the interesting thing is that the only person in our lives is ourselves. The only person to help us build our lives, ourselves. And yet still, when our lives are not succeeding, we blame. We blame our companions at home, at work, at play, at church, wherever we go. If we don't like it, it's somebody else's fault. When we focus our intent, it sets the laws of love in motion. The law of love says that whatever you focus on, your focus becomes a magnet that draws to that place everything because you could see clearly. When you focus, you can see clearly. You're able to discriminate right from the not right. What you can use and what you cannot use. Right thinking is being able to differentiate what can be used at this time. It might be able to be used sometime, but the thing that needs to be used now, you can see clearly. Because you're focused. When you're focused, the emotional state decreases. And the intellectual creative heightens. John the Baptist, who represents the personality dealing with the emotion and the other sides of us, said, I must decrease so that the Christ can increase. We can't play it two ways. We can't slack off and work at the same time. We can't be so emotionally attached to things that we can't let go that which is not working for us anymore and still want to hold on to the things that are working. We are nuts. Sometimes we do not realize the value and power of thought. That is true, our think. To think means to create in mind, to image, to visualize. That's how powerful thinking is. We are able to take our minds, close our eyes, and still see. Right now, I'm in Australia, on the beach in Australia. There are cockatoos and cockatiels and all kind of birds all around me. I could think that. I could create that. And if I say to myself, that's where I want to be, and I focus on it, I will get there. And no one or nothing can stop me. That's the power that you have. You are where you are. You did not get there by walking. You got there by visualizing through faith. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. Wherever you are, you use your mind to get there. We don't realize that we are dragging people with us, and they are not dragging us. We give too much importance to people in our lives. We blame. Recognizing that our experiences, all of them, amount to success. What are you successful at? You know, when you look at a field and you see the yellow-headed flowers called dandelions, that field is full. Hello now. So is your mind. Full of dandelions. Whatever you encourage to grow in mind will grow. And when the next year you have your mind full of dandelions again, it means what? You've succeeded to produce more dandelions next year. But if you don't want the dandelions next year, you got to do some work. And release from your consciousness all the little parachutes of dandelions that float around in your mind. You got to release them. And then focus on the petunias that you would like to see next year. And keep your mind only stayed on the petunias. And what will happen? The dandelions would automatically, realizing they're not wanted, would come on. Whatever you hold in your mind holds you. That's the law. Whatever you are focused on is focused on you. If all you can see is disaster, the disaster will be around you all the time because you go looking for it. You'll be happy here and decide this is too happy and automatically go looking for disaster, and you will find it. Because whatever you are looking for, you will find. That's the law of attraction. Whatever you are capable of focusing your mind on, that will be your experience. The experiences in your life are the reflections of your thinking. What you think about. Ain't no might. You must. Because that's what you will recognize. You could only recognize on the outside what you have as a picture on the inside. If it is not a picture in your mind, when it appears to you on the outside, you cannot recognize it. All recognition begins in the mind. So if you say you're not having a nice day, who am I to doubt? So when you come and you tell me people are treating you badly, who am I to doubt? Whatever you say is true for you. It's true for you. If you allow the rain to stop you from going to church, I can't ask you, why did you do that? No, that's your business. That's your belief. You think it's there, it's there. If you think you'll go out in the rain and catch the flu, well, you get the flu. You already have the flu. And whatever your experience is, you have succeeded. I love that. Because whatever you have in your life has proven you are an expert to bring that into your life. You are so good at it that you have so much of it. Success requires strength, tenacity, staying power. In spite of all the odds, I'm going to stay. Who said it was going to be easy? Hello now. But the strength is required to build character. The stronger I am means the more I could hold that image in one place. In spite of the wind, in spite of the rain, I came to have life. Like the little seed that comes up in the storm, like last night, germinates last night. And all the wind and the rain toss, wet, and it lies down. But as soon as the sun comes up, it has a purpose. It knows where it's going. It knows what it wants, and it starts to smile. It doesn't tell the other twig next door, boy, that was a lot of rain. It is focused on living and bearing fruit. That's its intent. Doesn't complain. And I like trees because trees don't move to another town. They stay where they are planted, and all they have need of, because they are focused, will come to them. Because of our duality and thinking it's not good here, I have to move here. And we move here and life, in some cases, might have been better staying where we came from. But I'm not saying that, Strength. The power to stay. Not just for today, but until you have succeeded. How long will it take? 40 times 40 days and 40 years? It doesn't matter. When you are focused, you do not count the months or the weeks or the days or the years. Because you have one purpose, and that is to succeed. And once I succeed, the promised land or fulfillment will bring me a state of peace and joy. That's what I'm living for. Stop counting the days. Stop taking the hen off the egg and looking. Crack yet? No wings yet? No! For everything there is a season. It's the law. Even in your mind, thoughts grow and expand according to the season that you have given it. Focus. Commitment. The word that goes commitment is I must. I must do this. I have to do this. Without commitment, nothing happens. I must do this. I have to do this. Is there anything in your life that you must do? What are you living for? I must live. I must do this. New Thought ministers in a world of fundamentalism must do what they're doing in spite of the appearances. Got to do that. A New Thought student has to be a New Thought student. You must do this. You have to be committed to a way of life that says, wherever I am, God is. And God is infinite possibility and infinite potentiality. And wherever I am, I have to keep searching for it. I can't let what the world say to me. I've got to let my mind focus to find what I am looking for, never giving up. I am committed to this way of life. I can't be whimsical. Today and tomorrow something else. That's called a dance. One side so today and the other side that to that. Yeah. Shifty. Are you shifty? Discipline. Trimming off all the things that are not necessary. Learning to trim off some of your desires. When you're supposed to be studying, well, just one little party. No. You've got to be able to trim your desires so you become teachable, so that you could follow fully and stay focused. That's Dr. Sean, right? How many years did it take you?
Too many.
Too many. He could have done like other people. You learn to play, and you play. And by the time you reach 40, that kind of playing is going out. And you can't adjust because you have no understanding of the principles of music. So you could change and grow. Hello now. Because you were never a student. You were in it for the good times and the quick bucks. Now, it's your life. The discipline is for your life. This is lifetime. Life is not a big party. You got to train yourself to live in a certain way. It requires tenacity, bold-facedness, to stand before the crowd and say to them, this is my life. I don't give a hoot what you think about me. I am going to do it anyway. Can you do that? Can you do that? Yes. Can you be tested and tried and still smile? Hello now. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the seeming shadow of death, I have a smile on my face. Hello now. Some of us, as soon as they start to say things about us, we chicken out. And we come back in agreement with them. Oh yeah, because we don't want to lose our friends. Bold-facedness. Going in spite of it all. Can you do that? That's what it takes to focus. Because as soon as you begin to do something, somebody is going to come and say, would you have enough money to go through with it? What about food? And suddenly you start to feel hungry. You weren't hungry all the time. Do you know how long that is? And they always give you an example. Well, I knew somebody who I used to know who started to do that, and all kind of stuff started to happen, and they stopped. You will draw that. It's a must. That's why you have to be tenacious. The animal in the world that I like the most is the hyena. You might say, well, why? Because when it sets out to hunt, it does not stop until that which is hunted falls to it. Now that is tenacity. That is fixing your attention on a spot, and in spite of all the prevailing winds that will flow, you keep going. I came that I could have life and have it abundantly. Abundant life is only possible when we endure until the end. Everything works on the primary law of cause and effect. All experiences are effects. The primary cause is always mental. Change the mental state. You know, some of us go for jobs, and the interviewer can read us because what we are putting out. Sometimes we are putting it out, I'm so desperate, I just need the money. Sometimes we put out all kind of stuff because that's the state out of our minds, because sometimes we only move when we are desperate, and we carry the desperation with us. Move when the desire in you says it's time to move. Go to a place, Abraham. I'm not telling you where you're going. Just go. I will tell you when you have arrived there. So you don't have to be, am I there yet? Success is a journey. You don't know what the day will bring forth until you keep traveling. You don't know when you will succeed. You could turn back and all it required was one more step. But giving up is also success. For those who believe in giving up, they will succeed at giving up. Fulfillment is a state of mind. All states of mind can only be filled from the within. Things do not bring us satisfaction. Satisfaction comes when we appreciate what we have done, where we are, who is now with us, and all the circumstances and experiences we have drawn to us, and we can sit back and say, wow, it's worth it. Life is worth it when we push ourselves forward and we can say, well done. Well done. When we know inside of us, we may not have this food on our table. We may not have an account full of money. But we know it's okay. That's all fulfillment means. It's okay. It's okay. Just tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay. And then you don't have to call Kay. Because it's okay. Is it well with your soul? Can you sleep in peace? Can you walk in peace? Can you play in peace? Can you socialize in peace? That's what fulfillment is. It is finished. That's fulfillment. God bless.